Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to another edition of Crimes of the Week International. Before we get to today's video, we're excited to announce that our official Patreon page is now live. Patrons will receive exclusive extended editions of each one of our Crimes of the Week and Crimes of the Week International videos. So if you want even more crime news coverage, head over to patreon.com/crimezone.
Delhi police say that a 32-year-old YouTuber was arrested last week after he recorded and uploaded footage of his dog that caused significant backlash from the public and at least one animal welfare organization. In the video, Gaurav Sharma, the man behind the YouTube channel Gaurav Zone, could be seen standing on top of a car holding his pet Pomeranian named Dollar. The animal, which had numerous large helium balloons attached to it, was then released by Sharma and caught by another person on the second-floor balcony of a nearby building. Sharma said the video was an attempt to see if he could make the dog fly. Police arrested Sharma for the stunt after being tipped off about his video by the animal rights organization People for Animals. Sharma has since taken the footage of his stunt down and released a follow-up apology video to his over 4 million subscribers. In his video, he claimed that he had taken, quote, all safety measures when doing the previous stunt, and that he loved his dog and treated it like a child. He also claimed that he had been influenced by other YouTubers he had seen doing similar stunts, but asked viewers not to follow his actions. None of the information we could find mentioned the potential penalties that Sharma could be facing over the incident, but it has been reported that he was released on bail following his arrest.
This week, it was reported that England's West Midlands police had recently gotten quite the shock when they raided the site of a suspected grow-op. The raid took place on May 18th at the Great Bridge Industrial Estate in Sandwell. Police had received intelligence that the facility was being used to grow marijuana, and all of the classic warning signs seemed to be there. People were allegedly coming and going at all hours of the day and night. An abundance of ventilation ducts and wiring were visible from the outside, and when a police drone flew over the area, it picked up signs of a considerable heat source from within. However, when police forced their way into the site, they instead found a bank of roughly 100 computers that were being used to mine Bitcoin. Though it was far from what police were expecting, it turned out that they had still actually uncovered a crime, as those responsible for setting up the operation had been stealing thousands of dollars worth of electricity from the local power grid in order to mine the cryptocurrency. West Midlands police say that so far no arrests have been made, as no one was present at the site at the time of their raid, but that all of the computer equipment has been taken down and seized.
Police in the Dordogne region of France say they've successfully arrested a fugitive on Monday following a 2-day manhunt that ended in a shootout with police. The incident began on Saturday when 29-year-old Thierry Dupin showed up at the home of his ex-partner in the village of Le Lardin Saint-Lazare. This was despite the fact that the woman had a restraining order against him, following Dupin's 4 previous convictions for domestic violence. Dupin proceeded to assault the woman and also shot at her new boyfriend with a hunting rifle, though did not hit him. When police arrived, Dupin fired at them before disappearing into the woods. This led to a large manhunt involving more than 300 police officers, 4 armored vehicles, and a helicopter. As police set up a perimeter and combed through the woods on Saturday and Sunday, the residents of the nearby village were urged to stay inside. Dupin was considered especially dangerous because he had served in the army from 2011 to 2016. At around noon on Monday, Dupin confronted police once again, leading to another shootout. This time he was struck and seriously injured, and authorities were able to take him into custody. They said that Dupin appeared unconcerned for his own life and appeared to want to go out guns blazing.
Authorities in the Senegalese capital of Dakar say that they are currently searching for a man known as a so-called escape ace after he broke out of jail once again over the weekend. According to reports, 32-year-old Baye Modou Fall took off last Saturday night after breaking through the ventilation grill in his cell and climbing over the wall of the jail where he was being held. Fall has reportedly been arrested numerous times on charges such as armed robbery, but has escaped from jail around 10 times, becoming well known across the country. Though authorities have not yet managed to catch up with Fall, he did give an interview to the media saying, quote, "I always knew that I could get out of the prison at any time, night or day." Fall claims that his latest escape was done to protest his lengthy pretrial detention, saying that his case was being processed far too slowly. He told reporters that he has not fled Senegal and plans to show up for his day in court when it finally arrives. He just doesn't plan to wait for that day in any of the country's overcrowded and widely criticized jails.
Police in Bangladesh's Sharankola district say they have arrested a notorious tiger poaching suspect this week who is said to have evaded capture for 20 years. 50-year-old Habib Tolokdar, also known as Tiger Habib, was taken into custody by police last Saturday after receiving a tip about his location. According to reports, Tiger Habib is suspected to have killed at least 70 endangered Bengal tigers operating in the Sundarbans mangrove forest on the border between India and Bangladesh. The area is home to the world's largest population of the endangered tigers, though only a few thousand still remain in the wild. Tiger poaching has long been lucrative for people like Tiger Habib, as black market traders buy the animal's pelts, bones, and even meat, which is then sold around the world. It is believed that Tiger Habib got his start collecting honey from the bees in the Sundarbans before becoming infamous for his poaching.
This week, Hong Kong police announced that they had broken up 2 different large fraud operations, arresting a total of 34 suspects in the process. The schemes reportedly took place between November of 2019 and February of this year, conning at least 85 victims out of 8.3 million Hong Kong dollars, or roughly $1 million US. In the first fraud operation, the scammers pretended to be a company offering cash loans with interest rates as low as 0.09%. Victims would be asked to send a cash deposit as proof of their assets, but once they did this, the scammers would pocket the money and the victims would never hear from them again. The second fraud scheme involved cold calling victims about a potential investment opportunity. Once the initial investment was turned over to the scammers, fraudulent paperwork would be drawn up showing the supposed investment balance. By the time victims realized that the investments were fraudulent and they could not withdraw their money, the perpetrators were long gone. Hong Kong police say that both fraud operations are connected and both have ties to triad organized crime groups. Authorities are continuing their investigation and say that more arrests may follow.
This week, authorities in the Mexican state of Guanajuato announced that they had captured the suspect behind the terrifying assassination of a mayoral candidate in the city of Moreleon. The incident took place on May 25th during a campaign rally for MC party candidate Alma Barragan. Barragan was in the middle of an afternoon speech at the rally when the sounds of gunshots began to ring out and she fell to the ground. The entire horrifying ordeal was captured on video. The man reportedly behind the attack has been identified only as Fernando N. and was taken into custody in the city of Yurira, just north of Moreleon. At the time of his arrest, Fernando was allegedly in possession of multiple firearms, ammunition, and a telescopic sight for a rifle.
Authorities in New South Wales say that 10 people have been arrested and charged after a 37-year-old former biker was kidnapped and held hostage earlier this week. The incident began at approximately 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning, when a group of armed men broke into the home of Dylan Mancuso and his 61-year-old father Joe in Bringelly. The men allegedly assaulted Mancuso's father during the break-in, telling him not to look and not to call the police while forcing his son into their vehicle. Mancuso was then driven approximately 30 kilometers east to an industrial warehouse in the city of Revesby, where he was held hostage. By early afternoon, authorities had already tracked the kidnappers to the warehouse, overwhelming the facility with tactical police officers in armored vehicles. However, sometime during their negotiations with the kidnappers, someone from the group set fire to the warehouse, quickly sending the scene into chaos. Police stormed the warehouse and made a total of 10 arrests, with suspects ranging in age from 16 to 37. It was reported that Mancuso had sustained non-life-threatening injuries to his head and face and was taken to the hospital. While few details have so far been released about the apparent motive behind the attack, It is said that the suspects planned to hold Mancuso for a large ransom. It was also reported that Mancuso is a former member of the Lone Wolf 1%er Motorcycle Club and has charges pending in Perth. That brings us to the end of this edition of Crimes of the Week International. If you're a fan of the new series, don't forget to tell us in the comment section below. While you're there, make sure to subscribe to Crime Zone for more true crime content like this, making sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest videos. Thank you for watching.